for the YouTube subscribers. Well, subscribe already. Hit the fucking like button and subscribe before I knock your ass out, man. I ain't fucking with you, man.
UFC Vegas 57, yes, back in Vegas at the Apex. Gamrot versus Sarukian. Good main event here, guys. Some top prospects in their divisions. Great shiny record. This should be good. It's a decent card all around. Pretty excited for the card. We'll be going over the main card like usual. Breakdowns, leans, maybe what to avoid, some free picks as well. Before we get into the recap and some update system, sportscapping.com, guys, to become a client today. Start profiting in all sports long term. Get a structured betting system from myself, my personal plays, how I profit long term in the sports betting market. Only 5%. 5% of handicappers profit long term in sports betting system. Capping is one of them. Head over to my Instagram. Twitter. Instagram, I have a comment section. Check out all my comments over the years from clients and just video viewers as well. Give me a follow over there. I always post sports betting stuff, updated weekly updates on all my records, free picks as well. System capping on Instagram and Twitter. UFC Austin recap. Another nice card for myself and clients. 5-1 all bets. We did hit two parlays cashed, and we had a big ticket winner, guys. Big ticket winner with Kevin Holland by submission at plus 900. I saw the path for the submission there. Means was submitted 5 times, and Holland had 5 submissions. Holland has a very sneaky ground game. Great BJJ. Not a lot of people know this, and I didn't see Means getting a straight KO. He got knocked down, and what did Holland do? Jump on his neck. That's what I thought the path would be here, and that's what happened. So very happy with that plus 900. And obviously the 2 parlays we had as well. So it was a very good card. Only 1 loss on the card. It was an over in the Giannis fight. Close fight in the main event. Let me go over the 2 parlays. First parlay was Phil Hawes and Holland. Holland, those were easy hits. A little sick today. Phil Hawes, easy win there. Dominated the fight. That was a domination from all 3 rounds. The first round was probably a 10-8. It was such domination. Phil Hawes, incredible performance over Win. Terrible matchup for Win. I saw that coming. We had Holland on the money line as well, just in case that submission didn't come. And we were on the over in the Cater and Emmett over 2.5 rounds. Parlayed with the Magalov fight over 2.5 rounds as well. A little rounds parlay. I like to have a little couple 2-fight rounds parlay, which we hit at a very high percentage. Close fight in the main event. I stayed off the main event from a side standpoint because I knew it was going to be a close fight. Argument to go either way. I had Cater just because I factor in the 4th and 5th round more. 4th and 5th round, I think it was the 2nd round that was the debate. I find looking at the scorecards, I give it to Cater if I had to. It's a flip of the coin. No robbery here. Emma came out good, had the bigger strikes in my opinion, but Cater worked his jab really well. Cater was blocking a lot of shots as well. So, it's a flip of a coin. I would lean more to Cater because, like I said, he won the 4th and 5th, and those are the championship rounds, right? So, I see the path for Cater. I just didn't think Emmett really hurt Cater at all. And obviously, the significant strikes and the strikes went on the Cater side. So, yeah, difficult call there for the judges. No robbery on each side, but I did have Cater winning it. But personally, I was on the side. We were on the over in rounds, and I probably should have went the fight goes the distance in that case, but I didn't. I played it more safe with the rounds. Weekly update. Let's get into the weekly update here, guys. UFC 111 and 58 long term. That's 66% all fights. 55 and 22 client run. That's 72%. Plus 58.7 units in the prop market, guys. Plus 58.7, and that's long term. PGA. PGA, 73.2 units in the prop market. That is long-term as well. Big U.S. Open in the prop market for us, hitting all 4 full unit plays. All top plays hit at the U.S. Open. 5th straight profitable major. Fun fact. 5th straight profitable major from the system. NHL winner with Tampa. We had a winner with Tampa the other night at a great price. 106. Definitely hit my system play. Down 2-0. This is a little tip for you guys. Down 2-0. Going back home and playing to avoid going down 3-0. It's going to hit a lot more than it doesn't, guys. A lot more than it doesn't. You're giving me a minus 106 price. You knew Tampa Bay was going to put in everything. They're going to come out with everything they have. Is it going to be good enough to beat Colorado? That was the question. It definitely was. They scored 6 goals there. So easy play there. 42-16 NHL run, guys. 42-16 NHL run. 15 playoffs. So great NHL season, which is pretty much almost done. I don't know if I'll have another play or not. We will have to see. NBA, 66% regular season. Playoffs not as good, but we profited slightly in the playoffs. We did have a 1-0 play with the Warriors. We went 1-0 in the finals. Congrats to the Warriors. They get it done after a 4-year hiatus. They didn't win for 4 years. They're back on top of the world. Very impressive all around. Wiggins looked great in that series. One of the X factors there. Obviously Curry as well. Yeah, we went 1-0 in the series. I jumped on Golden State in game 2. I think it was when they lost game 1. Yeah, that's when I jumped on them. MLB, no updates in the MLB. Low volume right now in the MLB. Not finding anything I like in the MLB. Taking a little break in the MLB. And you're able to do that when you bet multiple sports, right? I bet anywhere from 5 to 7 different sports. Some guys out there that just bet MLB. What if you're having a bad MLB month or something? What do you do? I don't understand it. I definitely don't understand it. NFL reminder. Let's get the NFL reminder here for you guys. Let's hear from my friend Meredith before we get into this card.
Guys, Meredith Gorman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Shop around for the best prices. I can't stress this enough. I stress it to my clients a lot. Have multiple books. Have 4, 5, 6 different books. Open up multiple books. It's very important. You want to get the best price out there. You want to get the best price out there, so shop around. This is not the best price. This is just a graphic price as of right now. Main event. Let's get into this main event. Sarukian, minus 280 versus Gamrot, plus 230. It should be a fun main event, guys. Two highly touted prospects. Impressive records, 18-2. Sarukian side, Gamrot 20-1. I'm very high on Sarukian. You guys probably know that if you've been following me for years now on these videos. He showed it off in his last fight versus Alvarez, a dangerous guy, and we were on Armand in that fight. This matchup is interesting because both guys are really good wrestlers, solid wrestlers, which usually means we should see more striking and more of a stand-up battle, where I favor Sarukian. Sarukian is just very well-rounded. I pretty much think he's better everywhere. The wrestling's to be determined. So if there is some wrestling here and grappling exchanges, we'll see who's the better wrestler. But I do have Arman as the better striker here. So if this fight does stay on the feet, I think Sarukian could pick him apart with some of his kickboxing, some of his leg strikes as well. Sarukian's only lost during the UFC 2019, and we know who it was against. Islam Makhachev. A lot younger fighter, right? Sarukian's only 24, right? So back in 2019, what was he? 21, right? Very young in that fight. So if I do think these guys cross paths again, it could. They could. I can see Armand getting a title shot at one point. And I can see him continue to climb the ladder. But this is a big test here for him. Gamrot, he's coming off that loss to Chimaev's training partner who we saw last week, who lost to Imagov. Just look at the takedown numbers for both these guys, right? It's pretty wild. The takedown numbers for both these guys, almost in the 6s. These are almost in the sixes for Gamrot. Obviously, Arman's high as well, but he does strike a little more than Gamrot. Gamrot, no secret, is going to try to get this fight to the ground. He's going to try to get this fight to the ground. However, Sarukian can wrestle, right? That's why I don't love the matchup for Gamrot here. That's why we see the plus 230s. You know, yes, the price is kind of high on Sarukian, minus 280. I don't love that, even though I do think he does get the job done. He does get the job done here in this spot, in my opinion. You know, both guys fairly lower striking volumes, around mid threes. Obviously due to them, you know, trying to wrestle a lot in their fights, taking their opponent down. You know, we haven't seen either guy in a main event or deep into a fight, at least in the UFC. You know, I don't see any worries about cardio from either guy. Either guy looks like they have top-notch cardio. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm going to back Arman here. I don't love the price at minus 280. You can't bet that straight on Sarukian. No value there. However, you know, I lean a decision here. I haven't seen Gamrot ever get finished. If there is a finish, maybe later in the fight. But if you want to try to look for a better number, maybe look at the decision. Probably get that at plus money. But yeah, I like Sarukian minus 280. Could fit a 2-fight parlay. Could be a good 2-fight parlay candidate for me as well. My clients this weekend haven't got there yet. You know, my client plays come out after weigh-ins and after I watch all interviews. Co-main. What do we have here for the co-main? It's a good one, guys. It's a good one. A good card in general, except the next fight I'm going to be talking about. I don't know why it's on the card. Neil Magny, plus 310 versus Rakhmonov, minus 400. Neil Magny finally gets his top young gun call out. He's been calling out anybody. He'll fight anybody. Chimaev, he's been trying to call out Khamzat Chimaev. Didn't happen. Chimaev got the big fight against Burns. Rakhmonov's just as big as a prospect, in my opinion. Rakhmonov's a very good fighter. A little more seasoned in the UFC than Chimaev was during that call out. And, you know, Magny's going to have his handfuls, but, you know, this is also Rakhmonov's biggest test yet. Magny's fought the top guys. He has some big wins. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. He's a grind-it-up type of guy. Nice jab. He has a good reach. Only a 3-inch reach advantage here. Sometimes Magny goes into fights with huge reach advantages. And this fight's not going to be a big factor, I don't think. But, you know, Magny likes to grind against the cage and try to get you down on the ground. He's going to have some problems here with Rakhmonov, right? I do think Rakhmonov's pretty much better everywhere. I do think he is one of the futures of this division. But yeah, it's going to be a good test. I don't think it's going to be a walkthrough. We've seen Magny before get chin checked. We've seen him get knocked out in the past. Not as of late. I think if I recall, 4 or 5 last fights have been a decision. So he's been fighting to a lot of decisions, tries to grind out the fight. I think it may be tough here with Rakhmonov. If I had to bet an outcome here, it would have to be the finish by Rakhmonov to get a better price. You can't bet minus 400. Even sneaking into a 2-fight parlay, which I'm known for, tough. Unless I can find, I'm betting a very low minus. Then I can maybe fit it in, but minus 400, it's a tough price to get to. I say he wins 8 out of 10 times. If they fought, maybe 9 out of 10 times. So I like that. I get the price at, you know, the 400. I don't think the price is way off. It's just hard to bet. So if I can get into a 2-fight parlay, it will make my card. But maybe look at the finish. You know, it's a 3-round fight. Magny has been showing some good durability as of late. So it's kind of tough for me to say, yeah, he's going to knock out Magny. But if you're looking at price-wise, there's some value there. At the price, you know, Rakhmonov has back-to-back finishes. Keep that in mind. So I can see him finishing this, but I can definitely see him winning this fight. I am going to be on him to win this fight. And I lean by finish, where he can get plus money on Rakhmonov. You know, I watched one of his interviews today, I think it was. And, you know, he just basically very confident. Said he's going to be the champion in 2 years. And I'm not going to doubt this guy. I really think he could get there. He's very impressive. And I like everything I see from him. Him and Sarukian, 2 guys I love. 2 guys that I love that are just climbing up this division in a rapid pace. Perusian plus or minus 105 versus Bordeaux minus 115. This is the fight that I just don't understand why it's on this card. I get it. You want to throw a heavyweight fight on the main card, kind of mix it up. But This fight just has no business being up here, guys. I don't invest in mid-tier to low-tier. This is probably lower-tier division heavyweight fighters. And I just don't invest in these type of fights. Both these guys are terrible. Both guys are coming off a loss. I think Bordeaux has back-to-back losses. Peruzian has a loss. Bordeaux's coming off a loss to Parker Porter. You're losing to Parker Porter, you're in trouble. And Peruzian's coming off the Maze. So these are bottom of the barrel heavyweight guys where anything could happen. Save your money unless you just want a flip of a coin, because it's a 50-50 fight to me. I don't play 50-50 fights. I like to find some value where I see more chances to win. So yeah, if you want to flip a coin and bet a fight, play somebody. Play someone with a better number. I guess Bordeaux, you know, he lost back-to-back fights, so you may want to if he loses this fight, he's out of the UFC, in my opinion. So play him, sure. But this fight's not going to make my client card. I'm not going to get my clients to invest in a fight like this. Not a smart move. I won't be investing as well. For the video purposes, I'll take the Frenchman. Why not? Moises, minus 240 versus Giggos, plus 200. Should be a decent fight. You know, this seems like a good spot for Moises, though, right? Good spot for Moises to bounce back after back-to-back losses. You know, Moises is fighting top-of-the-tier guys, right? Top-tier guys. Giggos, not so much. He's coming off a loss to Saruki in his last fight. That's a top-tier guy. But besides that, he's not fighting much. Sarukian finished him in the first round. This was about a year ago, if you guys remember that fight. Moises definitely, you know, he has the resume on his side. Fought some of the best guys. Not too worried about Giggos' striking here, right? When Moises is fighting guys, you know, if the guy's a better striker in most cases. But here, no. Giggos likes to wrestle, pressure, wrestle, but that's not a good formula against Moises when he has that submission game, right? So I just think it's a bad matchup for Giggos, and I would have to look Thiago Moises' side. Don't love the minus 240. I get it. You know, I get the price. So yeah, this could fit into a two-fight parlay for me this weekend. But little hint, if you get a submission prop, Giggos been submitted 4 times. 4 times in his career. And if he tries to wrestle, he can get into a vulnerable position. So if you can get that over plus 300, it's definitely worth a look. A couple of my books don't have it out yet, so I can't give you an exact price. But I'll definitely be looking at the Moises submission prop for a smaller unit if available. Guess who's back? Khabib's cousin, Nurmagomedov, minus 900, guys. Minus 900 versus Manis plus 600. If there's ever... it's funny, I had a couple guys reach out. You have a couple of random, you know, followers or just guys reach out to you on Twitter. You know, Twitter's a cesspool and, you know, you people in their mom's basements or whatever the case may be. But, you know, you have guys reaching out saying, you know, oh, you think this game's a lock? Or you think this fight's a lock? Nothing's a lock, guys. Nothing's a lock, especially in a fight. There's a high percentage winning chance, like you have in this fight, minus 900 or Nurmagomedov, 14-0, Khabib's cousin. I get it. This is the closest to a lock that I think you can get in a fight at minus 900. But there's never a lock, and especially in like regular season games. Like, let's take away from the UFC for a minute. Like, I had a guy reach out to me saying, do you think this under in the Arizona, I don't know, some other game, under 10 is a lock? No, it's a regular season baseball game, guys. Nothing's a lock, period. But especially a regular season baseball game, and of course he said the over 10 and it went under. It's like 6-0 the score, right? So this is a case where, you know, I have to tell you guys, nothing's a lock. If anyone ever tries to sell you plays that are a lock, they're lying to you. And if they say they don't lose, they're lying to you, right? The whole thing in this business is being transparent, and that's what I like to do for you guys. I tell you my losses. I tell my clients my losses. I post my losses. You have to do that. And when it comes to locks, there's never any lock. So I guess that's some betting advice for you guys this week. I usually do a segment of it, but, you know, you run out of segments to do for that. But, yeah, nothing's ever a lock. This is close to one. You know, this is close to one. Minus 900. It's Nurmagomedov. It's Khabib. He's not losing to this Manis guy. Now, this Manis guy has shown some durability and some heart. That's all I'll give him, really. He beat Gravely in the last fight, which was surprising. He was getting killed in the first 2 rounds, came back and just looked outstanding. He caught him. He caught him with a finish. So it's a fight and it could happen, of course, but it's very, very low odds, right? These guys fought 10 times. I really think he wins 10 times. But again, maybe 9 out of 10 times because somehow Manis catches him with something. But Nurmagomedov is just better everywhere. He wins this fight. Is it a lock? No, there's no locks. Okay? But this is close to one. This is the closest you can probably get to one in Nurmagomedov. You can't bet it at minus 900. If you can try to find some finish prop, that might be a good look, but it's still going to be high. But yeah, Nurmagomedov win this fight. Not a lock, but he wins the fight. Good fight to open up the main card. I'm excited anytime. Chris Curtis is back, minus 135 versus Viera, plus 115. I see most lines, most books now up at minus 150, so keep that in mind. You know, I just refuse to bet against Chris Curtis. I had Allen, I think, in that fight. I don't know why, but Chris Curtis, I refuse to bet. And, you know, just hearing from guys, listening to interviews, no one really wants to fight this guy, Chris Curtis. They know how good he is. And he came into the UFC a little late. He probably could have been in here a lot earlier. But, yeah, I think it's a decent price against Viera. Viera, the only thing you got to watch out is his submission game, so avoid going to the ground. And Curtis has good takedown defense. If he does get taken down, which we did see, I think, in the Allen fight, he bounced right back up. So I think Curtis, it's a good matchup for him if he can avoid. He hasn't been submitted for a very long time as well, and I think that's the only path for Viera. Viera's cardio is terrible. Keep that in mind. Curtis gets better as the fight goes on, in my opinion. So I like Curtis here in this spot. This probably will be a client play for me. Guys. So I'm giving you guys a client play this weekend on Chris Curtis. Probably won't be a big unit play, maybe not even a full unit, but we'll see what happens after the weigh-ins, of course. But yeah, this is a good, I think, spot for Curtis to continue rolling 2-0 in his UFC career, beating some decent guys, Phil Hawes and Brandon Allen. Hey, that's a good resume to start your career there. So, hey, I think he's kind of one of that storybook guys. You know, he comes in later in his career, has a big year in the UFC, and he continues to find ways. And this is a very beatable guy in Viera, right? Very raw, only 8-1. Curtis has a ton of fights all around the world. And Viera is he a BJJ guy? Is he an MMA guy? Yeah, he's improved a little bit on his jab that we saw in the last fight with Viera, but I think Curtis is just going to have the power to hurt him. We've seen Viera hurt before, and I think Curtis could finish him in this fight. So definitely take a look at Curtis here in this spot. I think it's a good spot for him. That will do it, guys. That will do it for this week's video. That will do it. Looking forward to some big cards coming out. July 2nd card. July 2nd card's a banger. Can't wait for that pay-per-view card. I'll be here next week, of course. And hey, NFL is not too far around the corner. Like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Take care.